Welcome, everyone, to our meeting this evening. Now we will have the presentation of the Jan Mulder Citizenship Award, being presented by Kathy Sherman.
Good evening.
Hello.
Again, my name is Kathy Sherman. I'm the president of the Piqua Area Chamber of Commerce. One of the wonderful job responsibilities allotted to me is the opportunity, when warranted, to present the Jan Mulder Award. Jan Mulder was a Piqua police officer killed in the line of duty. The purpose of the Jan Mulder Award is to recognize a person in a time of crisis or emergency through the disregard of personal safety or through prompt, alert action saves the life or attempts to save the life of an individual or individuals. The eligibility requirements state the award may be presented to any man, woman, or child. The action must occur within the Piqua area and or be performed by a resident of the Piqua area and or be performed for the benefit of a resident or business of the area. Police officers and firefighters are eligible for this award and will be considered at the discretion of the committee as well. I received a letter at the Chamber of Commerce as a letter of recommendation from Officer Chris Walters regarding Blake Nelson for the Jan Mulder Life-Saving Award for his heroic actions in assisting the Piqua Police Department and the Piqua Fire Department during a river incident on May 26, 2020. During the incident, Piqua police officers and Piqua firefighters were dispatched to the area of 25A for a male subject in the river struggling to stay afloat and yelling for help. It was reported that this subject had been drinking and was challenged by a family member that he could not swim across the river. The river's water level was much higher than normal due to the recent rainfall amount we had recently received in the area, and the water current was very strong as a result. Once officers and firefighters arrived on the scene, they began searching the area for the male, but were unable to locate him. A short time later, officers and firefighters were notified that a subject was pulled from the water by Blake Nelson, who lives in the area and saw the man struggling to stay afloat as he was swept downriver. Blake followed this subject downriver for approximately 100 yards before catching up with him and helping him to safety. When officers arrived, they reported the male was struggling to stay awake and was not conscious enough to answer any questions. The male was transported to the hospital for medical treatment, where he was ultimately treated and released. Blake's heroic actions and quick response to this situation is why Officer Walters nominated Mr. Nelson for the 2022 Jan Mulder Award. A failure to act or a delay in action by Blake could have led to a traumatic and tragic outcome. Blake is a citizen of the city of Piqua, and attends Piqua City Schools as a student. It is with pleasure that we award Mr. Blake Nelson with this Citizenship Award tonight, which is being presented by Officer Chris Walters. Also in attendance tonight is Piqua City Schools Superintendent Dwayne Thompson and Board Member Kelly McMacken. So congratulations to Mr. Nelson.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for letting
Yes,
us present this.
Congratulations to Blake.
Thank you for your help, Blake.
Outstanding.
Thank you so much.
Outstanding. Wow.
Blake, what year are you in Piqua City Schools?
I'm going to be a junior.
You're going to be a junior? Excellent, excellent. Wonderful role model for other students to
Yeah.
follow. Thank you.
Good
Yeah,
parents.
we appreciate your courage.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Yes. Thank you. Everybody's leaving. At this time, we'll have a presentation for the Charter Review Committee, presented by Nolan Campbell.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nolan.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. So for the past 8 or so months, we have been working with Law Director Mr. Patrizio and myself with Mr. Bateman, Mr. Roth, and Ms. Austin back there. So we have brought to you several different changes to the charter that we'd like to recommend. So in your packet, our first section that we would like to recommend is Section 4, which basically changes the start of the first meeting to 6 o'clock instead of 7:30, which we
sense.
most commonly see for regular scheduled commission meetings.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate that.
Section 31, so this changes the term of temporary service appointments from 60 days to 90 days, which was a recommendation from the Human Resources Department. And it also starts the migration from specific his, masculine-based language, to his or her, to be more politically correct.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good.
Section 46 was a recommendation from the purchasing department. So this requires our purchasing to not come before the commission if it's, I believe it's $2,500 is the maximum amount, and several ordinances have to change that. So it eases your workload and requires you guys to follow what is set by state law for statutory cities. The removal of Section 61, I believe we had quite a bit of debate about this one, just from a lot of confusion and everything. So, Frank, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that by removing this, we don't require every single contract to come before you unless it meets that purchasing or a value threshold.
That's correct. What this provision would do is allow for contracts to be, that only would have to be bid out if they exceeded the 50,000 threshold. This combined with 46, the changes in 46 make it the purchasing consistent with what the state law is currently in Ohio. By putting it in the charter the way that it was originally put in there, originally it was put in for $2,500, it went to $25,000. The state now has $50,000 that you can do for bidding out, and this would just make it consistent with state law.
Okay.
So it'll be 50,000 from now on, or are you removing the entire section?
So the way it works currently is the purchasing office has to bid out anything over $25,000 for certain contracts, not all contracts, but most contracts. The commission has to approve anything over $50,000. What these two provisions do is eliminate the bidding out over $25,000 and would just state that currently the law is $50,000, that anything over $50,000 would have to be bid out. And anything under $50,000 would not have to be bid out.
Okay.
So Section 67 came from two recommendations from the Human Resources Department and the Police Department. So currently at the Piqua High School and Piqua Junior High, we have threat assessment officers that are considered special police officers. But under the current charter language, they have to be terminated every 6 months and rehired, which doesn't make much sense. So by removing that, it saves everyone a lot of work. And then also changing the term policeman to police officer.
Makes sense.
Very sensible.
So Section 94 is for the City Planning Commission. The city engineer currently doesn't have a total vested interest in the City Planning Commission. So we remove that requirement for ex officio membership and allow the city manager to appoint a designee to serve in that role. Next is Section 116, which is nominating petition papers. So currently, anyone wishing to run for the commission seat has to use the form that's outlined in section 116. But by removing that, they can now use the nonpartisan municipal office nominating petition, which is issued by the Secretary of State.
Which has been very confusing with the Board of Elections, so that's great.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. So section 121 is for filing recall petitions. Currently, to file a petition for recall, it is 2,000 registered voter signatures. We recommend lowering that to 1,250. Just because of the recent turnout of the 2021 general election, we felt that 2,000 was a little difficult, but 1,250 kind of keeps the rigor in the task, but still makes it possible.
Did you guys take the census, current census count into factor?
Yeah, but mainly we wanted to look at who was actually voting as compared to how many citizens we had in the city.
So if you have some elections that have more people that vote as opposed to other elections, because some special elections, you won't get a lot of people, but
Right.
main elections, you might. But the last one, you didn't have many people vote at all.
Exactly.
I understand what you're saying.
And then finally, section 127 is limitations on recall petitions. This removes a limitation and adds a limitation. So during a commissioner's first term is the only time that they have an exemption from recall during the first 6 months. But also it adds an exemption for the last 6 months of the commissioner's last term. So it kind of changes things around on when you're exempt from recall and when you're not. So are there any questions about the recommendations that we brought forward?
Oh, you answered them all. These are all great
Thank you.
recommendations.
Great changes. Thank
Yep.
you.
So basically, section 127 is you can only be recalled for 1 year, but your term, no, 3 years. 3 years, I'm sorry, I'm thinking 2. 3 years.
So the way that we've kind of written section 127 or kind of tweaked it, so during your first 6 months of taking office, you aren't
Yeah.
able to be recalled.
Okay.
So for your subsequent term, you would also be exempt for the first 6 months, but we're taking that away.
Okay. All right.
Anything else?
Thank you to the committee. I know you guys worked long and hard on this, and this is not easy language to read, too, so thank you very much.
The committee is still going to remain in existence. We're actually going to meet again because the committee is going to remain in existence, and we are going to meet again for some more changes. I just received last week some recommendations from the Board of Elections. We're going to go over that with the committee members and see if they would like to make those changes to the charter also. There are some things in our charter that are inconsistent with the state voting laws. We have shorter time periods on a variety of things, and the Board of Elections would like us to change our charter to make it consistent with how they operate.
So will we wait until that to make the vote to put it back? Because we need to put it on a ballot.
Right.
Right.
Really, that's something that the commission needs to give me some direction on. I don't know if we can get it on November's ballot at this point in time.
Yeah.
But we certainly can get it on in March's, whether we want to do 5 at a time or the entire amount is something that the commission will have to change. The commission can look at this and say that they don't want to put all of them on, or they don't agree with some of the changes. That's something that the commission will have to give me some direction on, and I can do a resolution to do that at some point.
I'd like to thank the committee members for their dedication and their time. It can't be easy.
No.
It could not have been an easy process, and I just appreciate you guys taking the time to go through it. We need to take a rake through it for some time, and you guys took your time and did the hard stuff. So thank you very much.
Thank you for donating all your time for this. We appreciate it. And it sounds like you've got more work to do.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. At this time, we'll move on to the consent agenda, approval of the minutes.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approval of the minutes been accepted. We have no old business, so moving on to new business. ordinance number 0-8-22.
An ordinance repealing Schedule A-1 of Chapter 33 of the Piqua Code and adopting a new Schedule A-1 of Chapter 33 of the Piqua Code relating to wages of certain municipal employees.
Good evening, Commissioners. Schedule A1 is representative of our part-time, seasonal, and temporary employees. Currently, the commission clerk responsibilities are incorporated into a full-time administrative FTE. This full-time position has recently been vacated, and we're exploring opportunities to carve out the commission clerk responsibilities into its own existing part-time position. This adjustment that you see before you on the pay schedule will allow us to competitively recruit for a part-time position in the event that the city would like to pursue that option.
Thank you. Are there any comments from commissioners? Any comments from our citizens? Then I would need a motion to adopt ordinance number 0-8-22.
So moved.
Will you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Lee,
Aye.
Commissioner Hines,
Do we have to have three
Three
readings?
readings, yeah, that's what I was thinking. For ordinance,
For an
right?
ordinance, we
Yes,
have to
it
have
will
three
require
readings.
3 readings.
This
Unless,
serves
yes,
as
it
a
does
first.
require 3 readings unless
We
the
have to waive the
commission.
3 reading rule if this is the first reading.
You want, you,
I make a motion, we waive the 3 reading
yeah,
rule.
there we go. I second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor of waiving the 3 reading rule, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right,
Now,
and we'll have the
I'll make a motion to
Thank you.
adopt ordinance, O-8-22.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. May we have the roll call?
Commissioner Lee,
Aye.
Commissioner Hines,
Aye.
Mayor Pearson,
Aye.
Commissioner Vetter.
Aye.
Thank you.
All the rest are resolutions, okay.
All right. Moving on to resolution number R-81-22.
A resolution authorizing a purchase order to Engineered Floors LLC for the purchase and installation of new carpet on the first floor of the municipal government building.
Okay.
I had a question. May I ask it now?
If you, for this one,
we-
Yeah. Yeah.
do you want them to present it first and then?
Yeah, I don't care. I have a question.
Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you very much, Commission. This was brought to you back in April 5th Commission meeting, and it was approved. It came back that the adhesive was missed for the work, and I did not have a contingency in there. Normally, I don't permit contingency on a project such as this, but I'm requesting an additional $1,400 for the adhesive to install it, and just for safety, I'm requesting another $1,500 for contingency in case we have any other problems, with a total amount of $3,000 over what the original was. We're still way under budgeted amount, so we're well under that. We regret bringing it back to you, but we need to get the glue taken care of.
My question was, is it first floor or second floor?
First floor.
Because on the resolution page that we got, it says first floor, but on the commission staff report, it says second floor.
It's first floor,
First floor.
yes.
Okay.
Good observation.
I noticed that too. Yeah. All right, any comments from our commissioners? Any comments from our citizens? And I'll need a motion to adopt resolution number R-81-22.
I make a motion,
Go ahead.
I make a motion, we approve resolution number R-81-22.
And I will second that.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt resolution R-81-22. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Resolution number R-82-22.
A resolution approving an amendment to the collective bargaining agreement with local number 984 and Ohio Council 8 AFSCME Blue Collar.
Thank you. Schedule B represents our full-time AFSCME collective bargaining represented employees. After an internal review of departmental needs, both the city and the union have mutually agreed to amend the contract by adding the wastewater maintenance working supervisor classification to the collective bargaining agreement. Wages before you have been set in accordance with similarly situated positions in the AFSCME bargaining unit.
Are there any comments or questions from commissioners? No? Any questions or comments from our citizens? At this time, I'll ask for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution R-82-22.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Resolution number R-83-22.
A resolution to allow the city manager to enter into an agreement with the Piqua City Schools to purchase fuel.
We would like to move forward with a fuel purchasing partnership between the city and the schools. A few months ago, we started looking into fuel options in case there would be a fuel shortage this summer or fall in our region. In reaching out to Mr. Jeremy Hiddle at the schools, he was very interested in having us partner with them in the interest of everyone saving money. He believes their fuel supplier will offer them a deeper discount based on the increased demand and usage from the additional city vehicles fueling there. Even at the prices they pay now, the city will save a substantial amount of money participating in this joint venture. The schools have had this system in place since 2019 and have told us it works very smoothly for them. They are undergoing additional training on the computerized system this summer to make sure they are ready to handle the additional administrative tasks required. They are also investing to have the back parking lot shored up this summer for the heavy bus and truck traffic that we would present. The city may try to contribute in some way to help cover this expense because for safety reasons, we want all the traffic to flow the same direction. It's located at the back of the high school there, so they don't want any vehicles backing up in order to get to the fuel pump. So as an example, I wanted to share that in the month of May, if we would have been using their fuel facility, we could have saved approximately $2,200. Okay, we just basically took price differences anticipated based on the usage. So I also grabbed today's prices just to give you an idea of the savings. So today, the school would pay $3.29 a gallon for just regular gasoline. When I drove around at lunch, the Marathon on Looney Road was at $3.98. The diesel at the school today was $4.20. And again, when I looked at Marathon, it was $5.48. So that's quite a savings, just shown as of today's prices. So this is why we're anxious to get this approval passed this evening. The school board will also be voting on this agreement on Thursday evening. So if all passes, Jeremy and I will finalize the contract terms and have both parties sign it as soon as possible. Tonight, we're asking for commission approval for the city manager to be authorized to sign the new fuel purchasing agreement with the Piqua City Schools.
So where would they get their fuel from?
Their supplier is
Speedway, I think it said on here.
Mansfield Energy.
Mansfield?
Yeah.
But we'll still have our contract with Speedway for backup if we need that.
We still have our contract is good through June of 2024. So we have time to decide if we want to continue that as well.
Any other comments or questions?
It's
like
interesting
they do
that
now.
this is part of a proposal that was made a number of years ago when we were looking at a combined maintenance facility down where the armory is. And that's been several years ago. But again, this is a part of that.
Yeah.
And it seems to save us money and works for the benefit of both.
It's no
Agreed.
nonsense.
Right. Right. Very good. Any other comments? Comments from our citizens? All right, then we'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion, we approve resolution number R-83-22.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution R-83-22 has been adopted. Resolution number R-84-22.
A resolution supporting the Piqua Improvement Corporation application to the Ohio Brownfield Remediation Program for the Piqua Power Plant.
I'll take that this evening. So this resolution is to allow us to enter into an agreement with with PIC in order to have them act on behalf of the agent, or act as the agent for the city in applying for the Ohio Brownfield Remediation Program, which would allow us to get a Phase 2 environmental site assessment at the old Piqua Power Plant. This is a critical phase of the assessment for redevelopment that can be funded under this program.
All right. Are there any comments or questions from commissioners?
I'm trying to picture exactly where the property is. It's on South Roosevelt, I think.
So we have two on the agenda this evening. The first one's the power plant, and the second one is going to follow, and that's on Roosevelt.
Okay.
We'll follow up with that one.
Okay.
And I will say, I'm excited about that because when it comes to old buildings like that, you can't recreate it. And the possibility, I've heard so many ideas thrown around of what that can be and how that can continue to pull energy down the riverfront. So it's exciting.
All right, any other questions or comments? Then we'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion, we approve resolution number R-84-22.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution R-84-22 has been approved. Resolution number R-85-22.
A resolution supporting the Piqua Improvement Corporation application to the Ohio Brownfield Remediation Program for certain real property.
This is a very similar ask. What the Brownfields Remediation Program requires is a nod of support and agreement from the local government. This particular property is 1025 South Roosevelt, and it's a piece of land owned by Hartsel Propeller. They're looking to do a project to basically fix up one of their storage facilities on the site. There's lots of buildings on that site, and this is just one of them that they're working on. And the Piqua Improvement Corporation has already voted to support the application as well, or to apply on their behalf.
It's Hartsel Hardwood, not
Hardwood.
Propeller, right?
Oh, I'm sorry, did I say Propeller? Hardwood, it is Hardwood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Any comments or questions? Any comments or questions from our citizens? All right, I need a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
Is there a second?
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to adopt resolution number R-84-22. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sorry. Those opposed?
Isn't it 85?
It is.
85.
Adopt, yes, R-85-22. So all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That resolution has been carried. Resolution number R-86-22.
A resolution approving the amendment to the annexation agreement between the City of Piqua and the Board of the Township Trustees, Spring Creek Township, for parcel J27-055062 on Looney Road in Piqua, Ohio.
The commission approved the front half of this piece of property. There's two parcels in question to be annexed, and they're both going to be combined together for the construction of a single-family house on the lot. This is right across from the UVCC campus. In May, there was the acceptance of this annexation agreement with Spring Creek Township. Just needs to be amended to add the second parcel onto that agreement. And ultimately, the idea is you can construct now, get city services, as long as you complete this annexation.
All right. Any questions or comments from Commission? Any citizens' questions or comments? I move that we adopt resolution number R-86-22.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Resolution number R-86-22 is approved. Resolution number R-87-22.
A resolution authorizing an agreement to the zoning map to change the zoning designation of parcel N44-000030 from R3 multifamily residential to CBD Central Business District.
This is part of the Piqua Townhomes project across the street from Lock 9. The developer purchased the last lot in the block and would like to add it to the project. The Planning Commission recommended approval of the request, and the idea here from going from R3 to CBD is to reduce the setbacks so they can make a more walkable, kind of more urbanist development pattern.
So that house finally, wow,
Yes.
wow.
And I
okay.
think the only alteration to the site plan is there's going to be a private alley that goes all the way through the block now, instead of kind of terminating and leaving that house next
Nice,
door.
Yeah.
And this will go from 3 units to 10 units and 2 individual units?
I don't know. It's changed a few times as far as the total number of units that Bruns has carved out, but I know in total, we've got now 10 townhouse units, 3 single-family units, and I think the townhouse number includes 1 duplex.
Okay, all right, thank you.
On a related note, have we decided whether the wind barricade things attached to the fence are signs or they are something else? There was a question raised about that earlier.
They definitely are signs. They're temporary signs.
Do they comply with our sign ordinance?
We can permit temporary signs. I know I guess we're making kind of an awkward position here because technically you're not supposed to have banners in the central business district, which is sort of an odd amendment. Honestly, I hadn't thought of the complexities of that prior to this. Either way, we'll work with them to put them into compliance.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? All right. I move to adopt resolution number R-87-22.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Resolution number R-87-22 is approved. Resolution number R-88-22.
A resolution accepting annexation of 662.035 acres and 1.065 acres of land located in Washington Township to the city of Piqua.
Your Honor, this resolution has to do with the annexation of the land south of Piqua along 25A. The Planning Department and the owner asked that this be tabled for 1 month so they can work out a variety of agreements between each other prior to annexation. And they would ask that we put on in the August meeting.
Okay. Well, I propose that we table resolution number R-88-22.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? This resolution has been tabled. All right, it's now time for public comment. This is an opportunity for citizens to address the City Commission regarding agenda items, issues, or to provide information. Comments are requested to be limited to 5 minutes, and specific questions should be addressed to the city manager's office. Are there any public comments?
Okay.
My name is Roland Sourmouth. I live at 660 South Street, Pickway, Ohio. Our code enforcer, we got Aaron and Frank over here, gets me in a prediction to get thrown in jail because I've been going to court for the city for probably 7, 8 years. It's been a while. Ever since Aaron got in his job, we don't get along. I've been going to court for 5 months now about cleaning one of my rentals' yards up. Well, my opinion, that ain't my job to do. They should take my tenants to court, not me. So I go down there to do it, and they couldn't get hold of Frank. Then he got hold of Frank. I got on my phone where the police officer left me a message. He says, Frank said you can go in the yard and clean it up. So next day, I got my 2 guys go in the yard and clean it up. The police officer is going to press charges against them for going in that yard, taking that guy's personal items. I mean, the whole yard, it needed cleaned up. Don't get me wrong. It needed cleaned up. But my house was good. They didn't complain about nothing about my house. Why should I be fault for my tenants? Why don't they take the tenants to court and make them clean it up instead of starting a big fight? Well, I'm going to press charges for breaking my... They're going to get us for no trespassing, go in the yard and throw us in jail. 2 police officers said that now.
Really?
Yeah, because you cannot go in somebody's yard and take their stuff out of their yard. And I agree with that. I agree with that 100%.
Well, how are you supposed to get it cleaned up?
Take the guy to court that's doing the mess. Clean it up like Sidney and Troy does. Clean it up. If we got to do it, we're putting on your light bill.
Okay.
They clean it up. And I talked to him about it, and I talked to his little puppet about it. And I've been arguing the city of Pickwick for, I don't know, ever since Aaron started that job. Now I'm going to court for a car report. Somebody up here lives on South Street. You go down past my house on South Street. I keep my house nice. And the house, Kit Street, next corner down, I own that house. That's one to complain about. But you go down my alley, I wish I'd pay for everybody's gas to go down my alley. Why pick on this house and this house? And these houses in here are a hell of a lot worse than these 2 in ones here. He just got his, of course, I don't take no crap from him. I shouldn't have to take no crap. I clean my place. He knows me long enough. I keep my places clean.
He does. He tries. Yes, it's true.
And the city's on to me all the time, and I'm tired of it. That guy right there, him is puppet. I call Aaron. It just first started years ago, and I'm tired of it, period. If something ain't done about it, I will go further. They got lawyers in Dayton and stuff. That's what it takes. I'm letting you know ahead of time what's going to happen, because I ain't going to take it much longer. I got to go court 27 for a real nice carport at my house. I wish you guys would go past my house, 660 South Street. Look at my place. It is nice. Now he's crying about a carport up there, brand new carport.
How does it not comply with the city? How is it out of
The
compliance?
zoning that. But it ain't in the zone, you can't have a carport. Look at all the carports in Pickway, and there's a commissioner, used to be a commissioner, he got a permit for a carport. It's still hanging in his garage, he showed it to me. But I can't put one in my yard, in my garage. It's nice, cement slab, it's got a foundation about that high, it sits right on my foundation, nice, brand new carport. I gotta go to court, I gotta tear it down. Which I ain't tearing it down, and you know, I ain't tearing it down. I'm paying the court as far as I go. It don't matter to me how much it costs. It don't matter to me. But I'm tired of Aaron's just pick on who he wants to pick on. I agree the city needs cleaned up. Ain't no doubt in my mind. But you go past my house, I'll give you all my rentals. You go past all my rentals, and you tell me I got the worst houses in Pickwick.
Okay.
That's all I gotta say.
All right.
I we
I wish
appreciate it.
somebody would check it out.
I'll check into it.
You should step down one of these days. You're getting too old for that job.
He does a great
Anyhow,
job
we have
for us,
over
so appreciate it.
200, we have over 200 active cases in code enforcement right now. Aaron and Chris in the planning department do not pick on
and
individual.
choose.
They
I guarantee
base their
you-
own calls.
Based on complaint and.
That's correct, and we
If
go
you
out
take
there.
my house here and my house here, I bet there ain't one of the houses in between that's got something against them.
Okay.
Not a one of them, I bet you.
Roland, I'll drive by your house personally, and we'll check it
a
out,
look.
and then we'll
I bet
find
not
out
one of them has
what
got
it is.
written up. He got 200, but none of them, from this house to his house I own, there ain't one of them that's got nothing wrote up, I bet you. I bet thousands of dollars on it.
All right.
And unless they write him up tonight.
No, thank you,
Thank
Roland.
you, thank you.
Yeah.
Any more comments from our citizen? All right, city manager.
Good evening, Commissioners. I have 3 items this evening. First, I'd like to follow up on the Fourth Fest. It was very well attended. The fireworks were outstanding,
Yes.
and
Yes.
they did a fantastic job. It's really hard to beat the location using Jackson Tube as a sponsor location to have them shoot the fireworks off. You can see it all over the city. So I'd also like to thank all the staff that worked that day. They're giving up a day with their family on a holiday, and it takes a lot out of the staff to do that. So I'd like to thank them for being really great public servants. Also, too, we're going to have some repairs done on the bike trail tomorrow. They're going to be done between 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. between Echo Lake Drive and Forest Hill Cemetery Bridge. There was a washout due to the rain over the weekend, so they'll be completing some slope repairs, and it'll take one day tomorrow.
Has that been published anywhere so that?
Yes, it's been published on Piqua Alerts. I just want to also cover it here.
Great.
Paul, can we also make sure it's on Facebook, because people don't always get those, and I know that, I hate to say it, but Facebook is where a lot of people go to get their
They do.
information.
Right,
so-
right. And so to that point, we are putting together a communication plan with our public information officer that'll cover when we do send things out and what platform that they go on so that it reaches the public appropriately. But I'll be certain to have that one out.
Thank you.
Is that work at the bridge there, is that part of a larger project, or?
There was a slope washout on one side of the slope, and then the other side washed out as well. So Public Works will be doing the repair in-house.
So all that work out there really is due to the washout, not due to any other cause?
It's nothing but runoff, yeah. Yep. And then lastly, and I had sent everybody emails, we're adapting our agenda process to try to make sure that we have accountability and transparency from the administration. In the past, we've seemed to make amendments and revisions to the agenda packet and try to get that posted. And with it being posted on Friday, we have a lot of late items that come in, be it from developers or consultants that are out of our control. It could even be state agencies. We don't always get the information in on time. So we'll be posting the agenda on Friday by close of business for the meetings on Tuesday. And then the packet will be posted on Tuesday prior to the meeting for the public. And if anybody would like to get notification of when things get published, they can simply get on and sign up for Piqua Alerts. When we have the new website, you'll be able to select which platform you'd like to be noticed on, whether it's your phone or email. And we'll have a calendar that'll be advertised not only on the website, but you can sign up for what you want to be notified, be it the power board or the utility board or things like that. And we'll have a very systematic way of how we approach to putting the information out in the public. This is really in reference to trying to make sure that the information isn't either revised and then becomes an issue of what iteration of packet material it is. And I know that can be confusing for the public. So we want to be sure that everything is finalized at one time. And lastly, with that, the commission will be asked to adopt a rule that will be put into an ordinance that will speak to our publication and when we will do that. And so the ordinance will be in front of you next meeting.
All right. Thank you.
That's the end of my report.
Thank you. All right, commissioners comment? Commissioner Lee?
I hope everybody had a great 4th of July. I did. I thought the city put on a heck of a deal downtown, and the fireworks were awesome. I want to also thank Nolan Kimball and the members of the Charter Review Committee. It's not an easy job to sit through and go through our charter which dates back to the inception of the city. But they managed to go through it. They found 10 easy items, not easy, but 10 items that need to be changed, and we'll look them over. So we appreciate their hard work. And congratulations to Blake Nelson. What a great story. I'm very impressed with that young man and his willingness to help. I mean, we've had 2 Piqua students, one current student, one just graduate, that helped out in their community, Nolan being the one that graduated. It's just amazing what our students are doing from this town, and just a wonderful thing what Blake did, and appreciate what he did. A question to the city manager about Lock 9. What's progress on it?
Sure. So we advertised for bids, and we received no bids back. And so as part of that, to keep Crooked Handle on schedule, they're looking to have an opening in October, which will require some of the work to be done on the Lock 9 site, primarily the retaining wall that's adjacent to the improvements that they're making. So we're working out how to extract the retaining wall, as well as some of the demolition work that needs to be done at the street level, so that we can clean up the parcel for them when they open and not impact their schedule, because we had to rebid Lock 9. What we found out from speaking to some of the folks that bid on it was that the compression, the milestone compression to get the work done at the Crooked Handle property was somewhat problematic, as well as the completion date next spring. And so we're going to, like I said, extract out the work for the Crooked Handle to make sure that can be done. It eliminates the contractor coordination that would be required between the prime contractor on Lock 9 and the private sector contractor working at Crooked Handle. And then we're extending the completion date 1 month next year to hopefully have it open by July 1st. From what we understand, there's a lot of interest by making these changes, the supply chain issues right now, and just issues with getting labor. So we're looking forward to the rebidding taking place in August, beginning of August, and hopefully we have some bids right after Labor Day.
Great.
Thank you.
And my last question to you, sir, is any progress on the downtown? I knew we had talked about some things that were going to happen. Those are still in the works?
Correct. And we're working with the engineering firm to complete some of the initial 30% drawings for the curb extensions at Main and High, as well as that temporary stop sign. And we want to be sure that, number one, we're safe and we're compliant with the Ohio Revised Code and the Manual of Uniform Traffic Control, which all would rely on the engineer's drawings to get there. So we should have something, I'm hoping by Labor Day, out there and see changes, and we'll certainly bring it in front of you before we make any changes.
Okay.
Right.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Bring greetings from the Piqua Neighborhood Improvement Corporation, the overview group for neighborhood groups in Piqua. The suggestion for the week is, when you get up in the middle of the night, look out your windows and see what's going on. The police would like to hear if we have suspicious things going on in your neighborhood. So that's one of the suggestions that comes from PNIC. The Piqua Civic Band will have a concert downtown in cooperation with Third Thursday. This coming Thursday evening, 7 o'clock, down on the square. And I have a concern. I've received a couple calls about people who have been involved in what I would call near accidents on the bike path with motorized bicycles. And I understand that maybe the traffic committee is looking at what constitutes a motorized vehicle on the bike path. One person almost got taken out. How's that for a statement? So I think that hopefully the police department, in cooperation with the traffic committee, will be looking at.
Is that in regard to scooters, those motorized scooters?
Electric bicycles.
Motorized bikes, too.
Yeah. Evidently, the person who went by beeped, but by the time the beep was over, she was already by. So they were cruising. So again, I think it just needs to be looked at to see what constitutes a motorized vehicle. Do we need to adjust our code to be responsible for those kind of things. So I think that'll be appropriate to do. Thank you.
Very good.
And Casey?
Yes, I attended a citizen advisory committee last night to talk about the issues ODNR has raised with the dam on Swift Run and Franz Pond and Echo Lake, and so we are continuing to do that, and there'll be more things coming out for the public to be part of and different things like that. But really good discussion, really good conversation about kind of what ODNR is asking us or telling us we have to do, and different ways that we can work to make that the most cost-effective and to the less impact on our citizens. And I use it as the example when we had our water treatment plant and the wastewater treatment plant when EPA came in and said, you've got to do this, and if you don't do it, they're going to come in and take over and do it for you. And so we're trying to be ahead of that so ODNR doesn't come in and take the easiest scenario, which may not be the best for our community. So
You can also get money for doing it ahead of time, right? You
yeah,
get grants.
there's all sorts of good things on the table for that. So yeah, and so nothing has been decided.
No.
There's a lot of rumors out there about we're gonna turn Franz Pond into a wetland. We're going to turn Fountain Park into a lake, and those, nothing has been decided. So I want to repeat that over and over and over again. We are still in the place to look at, these are the scenarios, what is the best one for our community, what is most cost effective, and what will have the best impact. So that's kind of where we are on that. But a lot of that falls within my ward, and so I'm in part of that, and Commissioner Grissom is also on that committee as well. So if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to reach out to me. Also just want to say thank you to Blake Nelson again. Just what a wonderful role model for our high school students, and just a wonderful story. And I think if we sat and thought about our citizens, there's probably stories like that happen almost every day in our community of people helping one another. But it is nice to hear about one and to be able to celebrate it in the way of giving them the wonderful Jan Mulder honor of that award. I do want to remind people, as if you don't know, it is very, very hot outside. I just want to say a huge thank you to our city workers who are working outside in this brutal heat. It is hot. Today was a hot and humid day, and so on behalf of the commission, thank you for what you do, our city workers out in that heat, to keep our city going, whether it's public works. I mean, you see our workers all over the city, keeping things going. And so thank you. Catherine, if you could maybe send an email to them and just say that the commission does thank them for their work. We know how hot it is and are appreciative of that. And with that in mind, if you have neighbors who might have issues in hot weather, just make sure you're checking on folks, just so you know that everybody has what they need. And I think that is all I have.
All righty. Thank you. Don't forget that our market is Thursday evening from 3 to 6 downtown on the square. Fresh produce is available. National Night Out is coming up on August the 2nd from 6 to 8 p.m. And already neighborhoods are starting to get organized for that event. I also want to congratulate Blake Nelson. What a superhero we have. I also want to welcome our new finance director, Jennifer Calley, who is her goal is transparency of the city finances to the citizens of Piqua, which I think it's great to have her on board. Thank you. That's all I had. I'll entertain a motion to
I'll
adjourn.
make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Thank you.